Well, then, welcome everyone. Welcome to Open Office Hours, where I encourage people to bring their questions about AI, and I do a mini demo during each session. And today's demo will be all about AI basics. So just for getting started, and depending on what questions I receive, I may cover other AI tools in future Open Office Hours. So please do interject with your questions or post them in the chat. And just for right now, just for getting started, go ahead and pop on the camera and say your name, where you're from, name of your business, and what you're grateful for today. Start with you, Helen.
I knew you were going to.
Put you on the spot.
Kia ora, I'm Helen Brahms. I currently live in Surprise, Arizona, soon to be back home in New Zealand. And my business is Before the Dirt Nap is the name of my business. And under that, I do genealogy, a little bit of travel, and a whole bunch of other stuff just to help people live their best life now. And what am I grateful for today? Rain! Been out taking the dog for a walk in the rain, been dancing in the rain, and fully energized. So if I need to pick me up, I'll just go pop out and dance in the rain again.
I love that.
Yes, that's me.
All right, and I'll just call you out to make it easier. Susan.
Gonna mute myself. I'm sorry.
That's
Hi,
okay.
I'm Susie Barrick. I'm a realtor in Colorado Springs. Um, what am I grateful for today? It's awards banquet for our agents. So I'm super excited about that and to celebrate them.
Excellent. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me be on.
Absolutely. Okay, Marcel.
Hey, good morning. I'm Marcel, chiming in from Seattle, Washington area. I have a little company called Dreamosity. It's a social media management and training company, and I'm very curious about AI because it's going to replace me. So I got to have new cool stuff to sell in a sense. Like I need to stay flexible. But I have a publication where it's not news, it's encouragement. So if you visit dreamosity.com, you can see a little bit about data art. And then what I'm grateful for is tonight, one of my clients, we have almost a sold out comedy show. So I'm excited to bring humor and laughter and resiliency to the Pacific Northwest in ways that are, it's not that they're clean, but they're professional. So
I love that. I wish I could be there in Seattle today so I could come attend. That would be fun. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Okay, Sue Bittner.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Sue Bittner. My company name is Unique and Personally Yours. My business is doing laser engraving. So if you need anything laser engraved or local gifts, trophies, awards, come see me. That's what I do. I just work out of my house. I've been in Colorado for about 25 years now, doing laser engraving for about the last 15. I'm veteran and woman owned, so it's a good thing. And what I'm truly thankful for, unlike the people that like rain, we're supposed to get snow this afternoon, and the weather right now is perfect. I just threw my dogs out so they can be outside most of the day till it does start snowing this afternoon. So I'm very thankful for being in Colorado, and thank you so much, Terza, for doing this. I'm really excited to learn more.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. Sid.
Hello, good day, everyone. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm a musician and an event organizer. And I saw this on your meetup on the Rio de Janeiro group, and
Yes.
and I was in Rio just a little while back for 1 month. So I was thinking the people from Rio were organizing this. I'm just curious, how did you go to the Rio website?
Oh, so I have not yet been to Rio, although I would love to. Well, when I went to high school many, many years ago, we had an exchange student live with us from São Paulo, actually. And I learned a lot from her. It was a really fun experience. So that's part one. Part two is I want this to go global. So what I'm offering, what I'm teaching, I want it to be global. I am waiting on a special tool that will allow real-time translation during Zoom meetings. I know the company that's putting it together, but they're fully testing it. And that's why I wanted to grow the meetup group in Rio and other places around the world.
Oh, okay, that's good. I was hoping to interact with some people from Rio. Maybe they still show up. And Teresa, where are you from? What
I'm
city?
from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, everyone's from Colorado. Oh, okay, good.
Today they are. Last week we had people from other places, so it depends on who comes.
Hey,
So,
wonderful.
thank you for being here. And Marcy, are you? Oh, there you are.
Here I am.
Just before you came on, Marcy, I asked everyone to say their name, their business, and where they're from, and what they're grateful for today.
I'm grateful that I was able to get up and be here on the call. That's what I'm
Excellent.
grateful for. Thank you, Susan. I'm Marcy Green. I have a company, Sea Green Financial. And what I do is I help people get loans for their business. Any kind of loan, as long as you have decent credit. If you have no credit, I can't help you, but I can steer you in the right direction. If you hear some background noise, I live on a busy street, and sometimes the trucks think that, and the motorcycles, they think that this is a racetrack. So you hear some background noise. Don't worry about it.
All right.
It's far from me.
All right.
And what else you want to know?
You covered it all. Thank you.
Oh, no, I live in the San Fernando Valley,
There you go. That's it.
Southern
Yes.
California.
Yep. Well, thank you all for being here. Go ahead and put yourselves on mute, except when you're ready to ask a question, and or post questions in the chat. When I switch my screen over to display, I might not necessarily see it in real time, but I will certainly come back to it to answer any questions that come up. So today I wanted to cover, here's what happened. A number of my friends and family had been seeing my posts on Facebook, and they privately said to me, you know, that's really great that you're doing this AI thing. And I want to know, I haven't a clue what to do with it. So I said, let me start from the beginning and then we'll work our way up. So today's office hour is all about the blinking cursor problem. So if you've ever opened ChatGPT and stared at the blinking cursor and thought, what am I supposed to do with this thing? You're not alone. It can be quite overwhelming. I heard a statistic the other day that I did not verify, but something like 2,000 AI tools are presented or made available every day or every month or every week. I didn't remember what the time frame was, but regardless of what it is AI can be quite overwhelming if you're just getting started. So I like to start with ChatGPT. It was the very first one out. Even though AI has been around basically since the 1960s, it didn't come on the popular scene until we started with large language models, which is just a fancy way of saying that AI uses language to process its data and respond to you. So you feel like you're talking to another being, even though that is not. Oh, great, thank you. It's a computer, it's not a being, but the fact that you can engage with it using natural language is what made it pop into so quickly into popularity. And then it turns out to be useful once you learn how to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're just going to go over some, as I said, some basic prompts to begin with. And so I already have a ChatGPT account. If you already have one, then this is very easy if you want to follow along. And if not, it's easy to go over to openai.chat.com and sign up. Super easy. You can use the free account. So getting started with just basic prompts. We'll start with something really simple like
Teresa,
yes,
the chat 440 or 40
yes.
is
The reason that's there,
is it a free it's still a free?
I'm not sure if it's the free one. I think now it's GPT-4, not 4.0. It used to be GPT 3.5.
Okay.
I did test all of these prompts that I'm about to share with you on 3.5, but my non-subscription ChatGPT is in another browser, so it's kind of awkward to go back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ChatGPT, but the results should be very similar to using just the basic no-pay subscription. Great question, Marcy. Thank you. So let's just go with tell me a joke. Whoops. Well, that was interesting. Let's start a new chat. If this doesn't work, I'm going to my other one. Tell me a joke. There we go. Why did the AI break up with the chatbot? Because it felt like the conversation was scripted. All right. So then the next thing would be, if you want to refine this, because prompting is all about refinements. If the chatbot doesn't give you what you're looking for, refine the prompt or rewrite it. In this case, let's just go for a quick refinement, and I'll say, tell me a funny science joke. Why can't you trust an atom? Because they make up everything. All right, jokes aside, let's go for something that might be slightly more useful. What's a good gift?
Teresa, can you make the type style in a larger font?
That's a good question, and I don't know.
Well, you can try it.
Let's see what it says. Can you make your answers in a...
Do you like font 18?
Whoops, font. You think that'll do it? I've never asked. I can't change the font size directly, but you can.
Here's try your view screen and view it to like 120 or 150 and see if that will pop it bigger.
My view screen, like here?
Mm-hmm.
Full screen or what else?
Zoom in.
Zoom in. Oh, is that help, Marcy?
Yeah. Now do it 2 more times. Hit that plus button 2 more times and it'll be nice and clear for us.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. Is that good?
There you go.
All right, so let me close this up too, so I can also see. Thank you. This is great. All right. So, whoops. It did give a pretty generic response for what's a good gift. It tried to answer my question by giving me several different categories that I might use. And yes, probably to your point, Marcy, it's giving these particular categories for me because we've been talking a long time and it kind of knows what I'm interested in. So, however, even so, if you want to refine it, then you could say, what's a thoughtful gift? Hang on. What's a thoughtful $50 gift for a book lover? And now it will give more specific gift ideas that will be $50 or under. So this is the point of this part of my demo, is that specificity improves AI's response. All right, so the next level that I want to talk to you about is using AI as a thinking partner. So for example, you could say, give me a step-by-step guide. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there because it usually handles typos, to planning a simple dinner party. Now, I know these are really basic, but I want to give a good foundation for people to advance through their prompting. So here it'll just go ahead and give a step-by-step guide. I won't necessarily read it all out for you, especially since we made the prompt bigger, the font bigger. So the basics, set the basics, date, time, guest list, plan the menu, make a shopping list, prep your space, cooking and timing, enjoy the party. So this is super easy, great stuff. In this case, here's what I want to do next. Now, suppose I wanted to make this even shorter. So I'm going to say summarize this in 3 bullet points. So now I'm adding some specificity and refinement to what I asked it for. Plan the head, set the scene, and host smoothly. Nice and easy. So here, this is where AI can save time and make your thinking easier. All right, the next thing is getting stuff done, real world use. So in this case, especially for us, write a professional email requesting a project update. Give you the subject line, dear recipient's name, I hope you're doing well, and I wanted to check in on their status. And you can copy and paste this. The thing that I will add to you, by the way, that I should have mentioned at the beginning, whatever output the AI gives you, you want to check, number one, read it, just use your own common sense. Is that going to be something that's real or possible? And then secondly, rewrite this in your own words. So this is a great template. This is a great idea. I would probably copy this into my email, and then I would go change the words to match how I would speak. For example, I do like to say something about, I hope you're doing well. I might phrase it slightly differently, but I will tell you that I can almost always tell when somebody's used an AI to write their emails, because it always starts out with something like that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. And I don't want to sound like an AI. So I will change it to something else, like, great to see you last week, or looking forward to seeing you, something more personalized to the person that I'm writing my email to. So, or I might even just skip that sentence altogether if it's depending on the business context. All right. So here's another one that you might find useful. Create a 5-day workout plan for someone who hates running, which is not me, but let's see what it comes up with. So then it will go ahead and develop a 5-day workout. And for example, if you're reading through this and you're going, I don't know what a Russian twist is, I don't have any dumbbells, then you could ask it further questions. So one of the big differences between this, say, and a Google search, because you could Google search workouts too, is your ability to drill down deeper and ask it more questions. Or say, well, I hurt my shoulder last week, so I don't want to do any of these. What else would you suggest? That's where AI becomes to be way more useful than just a simple internet search. And then it will even ask, would you like modifications or alternative exercises? All right, and one more for this category, which is, give me a list of social media post ideas for an AI educator. So educational, informative posts, it's going to give me a lovely list that I can use. And I could let that continue, or I could also pause it, by the way. Especially if you don't like, if it's going a direction that you're really not interested in, you can always click stop and it will stop it. It doesn't mind if you stop and rewrite or do anything that you like. So This is how you can use AI to save time for you and make your thinking easier. You can even ask it more challenging things like, I've only got an hour in the morning. What can I do to get ready for my day? And it will answer that. So here's what I would like to ask from you. What kind of prompts, what kind of things would you like to ask ChatGPT to help you in your business or your personal life or your kitchen or whatever?
I have done one thing where I've gone into my pantry and listed out my products, what I've got on the shelf in my pantry and in my refrigerator and freezer, dumped it into ChatGPT and said, make some recipes for me out of this.
Ah, I love, and were they useful?
Yeah, they sort of said, well, you can make this with these ingredients. And I'm like, can you give me the recipe?
Mhm.
So it's like, what can I make with these ingredients? And then it says, give me, and so it listed, you could do this, that, make smoothie, use this, and this, and well, can you give me the recipes? But it even comes up on the recipes. It says, I'm not 100% sure about these recipes, about the quantities, but play around and see what you come up with.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it actually came back and we had a backwards and forwards conversation. I love having a backwards and forwards conversation with ChatGPT, where I love brainstorming with it and the comments it comes back with, like the little nuances that it puts into the words and stuff. It makes you feel like you're actually talking with another person on the other end.
Yes, yes, which is really nice. I know a lot of people are also concerned about that. Like you, Helen, I really like that feature. And I will just add again, um, uh, it's like talking to your assistant. So if you can imagine you had your own assistant in the kitchen, or if you had a household assistant or an office assistant, it's kind of like talking to that person. And if you keep things on a level like that, you'll probably be fine. Like I said, if it tells you something outlandish, you're probably not going to want to do that. So, oh, here we go. Nancy posted in the chat how to write a marketing campaign to help drive business to my online gift shop. And Nancy, welcome Nancy, by the way. Nancy and I know each other because she has a fabulous blown glass gift shop. Is that right? Did I say that right, Nancy?
It's fused glass. Oops.
Fused glass. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Ah,
Nice to see you.
nice to see you. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste what you gave me, and I'm going to put it all together in the same prompt here. And because you were kind enough to give us refinement, I'm going to go ahead and add that too. Actually, it's easier if I just do
And
this.
if you add the website, it will go look at the website as well.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
So what is your website?
Glassartscollective.com.
Okay.
And it is fused glass. So I guess that should probably be in there too, but I'm not sure.
Well, let's see what it says. Okay, so say that again, please.
Glass Arts with an S collective.com.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, let's see what it does. It's thinking. There we go. So it will say, tell you to define your goal, and it tells you the 3 parts of your goal. So your objective is increasing online sales and brand awareness for Glass Arts Collective. Your target audience, art collectors, gift buyers, home decor enthusiasts, and people looking for unique handcrafted gifts. Your key selling points, one of a kind, support independent artists. I think it's pulling some of this from your website.
Yeah.
Campaign strategy, themed and seasonal promotions. Here's your core message you could use. Launch a limited time collection. And then marketing channels and execution. You update your homepage with a featured collection and a limited time offer. Gift finder quiz. Weekly emails. Using social media like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok because people love the visuals on these particular channels. Right? And then paid ads and retargeting, partnerships and influencer collaborations like home decor bloggers, press and PR.
How do you find blog? I mean, how do you find these people? I mean, it's great for them to tell me that I should find them, but I don't know how to do that.
we'll just ask, where can I find, hold on, home decor bloggers? See what that comes up with while I pop this up.
Then is it possible to ask it how to approach these people?
Oh, sure, why not? Let's see what it says. Oh, here we go. Reach out to bloggers whose aesthetics align with your products. Personalize your communication to reflect genuine interest in their work, of course. So, okay. How would I?
If you look above that, it names some people.
Oh, did it?
Did it?
Mhm.
Good
Okay.
catch. You're faster at
Paul.
reading than I am.
Hey,
Oh, yes, here we go. Yes.
notable bloggers.
So the
And
other
what I
thing, yeah,
what
go
I would
ahead.
do is I would say, please give me some more notable bloggers.
I
And see
love
if
it.
it gives you more people.
Mhm.
And
I
then
will.
what you do is you go out there and start commenting on their blogs.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. How's it going?
Welcome. Great. Glad to see you. Okay,
Yeah.
so by the way, when it does this, you can click on it and it will give you more information. But let's use Paul's idea. Okay. Oh, it even tells you how to craft the message to them.
Wow.
It gave you a subject.
This is
It just
amazing.
gave you the emails as well.
Yep. It gives you the emails you can use. Follow up if no response. So it gives you a whole strategy. It's like a step-by-step
Wow.
strategy, right?
This is great.
Offer collaboration options. Yes, it's really, really useful. And then it will say, how would you like me to create a template for tracking blogger outreach?
Yes.
Okay, we'll say yes. I do. I like this too. I do it this way also. So
This is how I'm
now,
having fun with it while writing a novel. I thought, let me see what it comes up with writing a novel. So I picked a topic, told it what gave it a loose outline and all of that. And between the backwards and forwards, we've narrowed it down. We've got the characters, and like I've come up with names, ChatGPT's come up with names, we've come up with different character arcs, different characteristics and traits and that sort of stuff between the two of us. It's just this big backwards and forwards thing, and then I'll hook on an idea which might be for like a book, like five books away from the main one we're writing, and I created a whole series of books out of it just from one idea. It's been a lot of fun, and I've spent a couple of hours just going backwards and forwards. And
Ellen,
I
you were
currently
having
have
a lot of fun.
I copied the chat and put it into Word, and it came out to 100 pages just of
Wow.
standard 12-point font.
oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah, and that's just the
What
backwards and
fun.
forwards. It was a lot of fun, and I said, okay, I have to go think about this now and see what else I want to add.
Exactly. So it actually created a spreadsheet. And if you'll notice, I could click download the table. And then I'd have this on my computer and I could open it with any of my, whatever spreadsheet software I like to use. So,
Fantastic.
So
yeah.
Teresa, like I've done some of this where you just kind of play and you get all these responses. So now you got 40 pages of stuff to read and to sort
Right.
through. So at what point do you, like you personally, not I don't want to ask ChatGPT, but what point do you say, I'm going to take this and go do the action? Because that's where I'm getting, I'm like, I can create all day. Like that's obviously easy once you know how to type a question. But
Mhm.
the implementation part, I feel like that's a new discipline for all of us to weed through 20 pages to do the work of like Nancy's new campaign here. Like I've been doing that for people manually, and that could be a 4-month project, like in
Mhm.
theory, the execution of it. So how do you balance the real life execution with, hey, this is brilliant, you know? Like how do you personally navigate that? Because that's where I'm getting stuck.
Ah, no, that's a
Great
really
question.
great question because I do the same thing. If I showed you my Google Docs, you'd see doc after doc after doc of really great ideas. But at some point, and one way to do this is to set a timer. So I actually have in my calendar, I literally call it playtime. So playtime with AI. So I set myself an hour and I go play with all different kinds of ideas. And then when the hour is up, I'm done. But in the meantime, I get better. How do I say this? Um, so for example, I would probably stop right here with this outreach tracker. I'd probably copy it down and I'd go up here and I would start implementing some of these steps. And one way is if you find this useful, then again, calendarize. I love that word from our mastermind group. There's people in our mastermind group that talk about calendarizing. So put some time on your calendar to actually implement the ideas that you find useful.
Oh, I have an idea. Will you ask ChatGPT, break this campaign down into 15-minute increment steps? Because I
Ooh,
bet Nancy would love that. I would love, because
you're
I would
absolutely
like 15
right.
minutes and then the phone rings and then, like you're off to the next thing. I could
Into
do that for my current campaigns and it would help because the full
Google,
essay is too much,
yes,
Yes.
15-minute.
chunks.
That kind of what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what it comes up with.
Ooh, that's what we want.
Yes.
The day 1 and 2. Okay.
So this was day 1 and 2, right? Then day 3 and 4.
Oh.
And then day 5. Oh, so I'm sorry, I'll read it out. Outreach and networking, and it gives 5 steps for that, as you asked. And day 5 and 6, content creation and social media. 5 more steps. Day 7 and 8, email marketing and ads. Day 9 and 10, optimization. Oh, I have one more thing to ask it. Pro tip, use a timer for each task to keep the momentum. Focus on progress, not perfection. Now,
Notice the question it asks you though.
would you like help automating any of these steps? Oh, yes. Let's go ahead and see what it comes up with.
Can you send it all to me?
Absolutely. You know what? For anyone who's on the call, what I'll do is, let me move this.
I would like it too.
Absolutely. There is this little share button up here. What it will do is create a link and I will send it to all of you. And then you can pop right into this chat and get everything that we talked about. Yeah. Yeah. So there's the social, whoops, let me move.
And Nancy, we should chat. I have a network up in the Seattle area. I know some of those bloggers you're looking for.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
We should
I'd
do
love that.
one-to-one
Thank you.
later. Yeah.
I love that. That's super. People connecting. All right. Social media automation. So the tool you can use for Facebook is Meta Business Suite for Facebook and Instagram. Later, Buffer and Hootsuite, I know is also our social media scheduling tools. So it'll tell you, suggest what to do, and then tells you how to do it. Then the email marketing automation, some tools you can use. It'll tell you how to do those. Blogger and influencer outreach automation. Use pre-written templates to speed up reach. I would be, I'm a little bit cautious. So recently I did ask ChatGPT to help me with my follow-ups to these meetings, for example. I didn't want it to send emails to my list without me reading it first. So I always just say, email it to me, I'll use it as a draft, and then I'll use my own other tools. I really want to stress, it's called, some people are starting to call it human in the loop. Okay. So automation is really great, but you really want to read what it says before you send it out. Then it goes on to more the retargeting and ads automation, customer engagement automation. Wow, this is cool. Setting up a chat bot for FAQs. So use its recommendations in ways that make sense for you. And then it'll ask if you, now would you like help setting up these automations step by step, which is really, really great. So then you can go to your calendar and say, okay, I'm going to spend an hour following ChatGPT steps. Otherwise, you could spend all day or more doing these things. So I recently asked it for help. What was it? Oh, I asked it for help on something. And I really, oh, I know, it was how to automate some things in my CRM. And it doesn't always know the answers. So I would go do what it said, like in it, because I use Go High Level CRM, and the functions it said I could do were not there. Same thing with Zapier. So you can always come back and say, I can't do that thing. And then it will say something like, oh, you're right. Well, let's do this instead. So it can be useful this way. Just be, as Marcel says, be careful of your time sink. The other thing that I wanted to mention is I've been reading some Forbes articles, which I enjoy reading, but it's evident to me sometimes that the person who wrote it used AI to help them, but then they didn't go back and proofread the final copy. So there's even weird errors that shouldn't have been there because I'm pretty sure the author didn't intend them. And then spelling errors, which I think is kind of strange these days, but with spell checkers. Anyway, what else?
Well, recently I've used AI to help me with a new business name that we're creating a new business.
Okay.
And, I said we wanted to be like a maritime themed. So it gave us some stuff and they were all used. And I said, okay, give me like ancient shipwrecks to current. So it gave me a whole bunch of names of shipwrecks. And there's one that I follow and own some coins from that they've come up out of the sea. So we picked that one. And then you can ask it to give you a marketing plan and what your office should look like
Your
based on, they
office.
said, yeah, if you have an office, the theme should look like this. And
Okay.
it should be, whatever based on the name you pick. So I thought that one was interesting. So they talk about what your interior decorating of your office should be like.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised on that one. And you can always ask it for a business plan and those type of things. So you can become your own marketing agency for yourself almost because you can just put it in there and just start feeding it stuff and it'll come. And basically it gave me, and though I didn't ask it, uh, thoughts to design a website,
Mhm.
especially the about the company using the theme of what you're doing in the name. And I do most of my AI stuff late at night when I'm laying in bed just before I go to sleep when I get all my brilliant ideas.
Nice.
So it
I
limits
get a
me,
lot of mine at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. So it limits me when I'm like, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. So, 10 or 15 minutes, that's my limit. So that's one way to do it. But I think those of us that, you know, are part of the pick group, going in with something in mind. I mean, there's playing, like Terza said, you said you take an hour to play and learn, but I usually have something in mind. I don't play that much with it. I have something in mind. So, I work just, you just start real big and then you just kind of narrow it. When you get to it, you're like, I'm done, and then you at least have something to work toward.
Yes.
And so I use it for a lot of stuff, but
Oh.
usually goals in mind. I did a newsletter of life insurance versus GoFundMe.
Mhm.
That made a blog out of that type of stuff. So, it just depends on what you want to do.
That's really cool. I'm looking forward to reading that blog.
Yeah, it's out there on Expand the Business. I haven't,
Okay.
it's just up, so I haven't actually gotten it out yet, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. So I think, Marcy, correct me if I'm wrong, don't you prefer to use Gemini to chat GPT?
Yeah, I've used Gemini. I first tried to use Chat GPT and for some reason or other, it just wasn't as responsive. But that was a good couple of months ago. And then I tried Gemini, and it was interesting. I was looking for a certain word that I never understood the meaning of it. So I Googled it, and what Google said in just, a sentence or two, I still didn't understand it. So I put that into Gemini, and they gave me a whole, maybe 3 short paragraphs. And then at the end, they gave me a summary. So in essence, it said, here's what it means, and here's how you use it. And they gave a couple of examples, and I was totally impressed.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yes. Yes, that's another thing that I need to remember to mention is even though I use ChatGPT a lot, I want the prompts that I give out to people to be, I call it being AI agnostic, because I use several tools myself as well. And yes, sometimes I do get I do always get different responses. But yeah, sometimes another one will give me a better response that I was really looking for. So, yes.
one time I did ask it a question, and then it gave me a couple of paragraphs of an answer, and it sounded so stilted. So I wrote back, this is I asked it to be professional but friendly, and I said, this is so it's very professional, but it doesn't, however I said it, like it doesn't sound like me, or it sounds stilted, whatever way I mentioned it. And the answer came back, and it said, oh, I'm so sorry, you're right. It is too professional. Let me try again. Here's this version. See if you like it. And I like that.
Nice.
And it was a better version.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. So perfect example of human in the loop, and also choosing the chat bot. I don't know, I want like to call them chat bots. Use the AI that's best suited to your style.
I find it great for when Brad was alive, I used to run into the living room and go, I've had an idea. And his face would be like, oh crap, what's she come up with now? And since he passed, like, 7.5 years ago, I haven't had anybody that I've been able to run into the room and go, I've had an idea, and sit down and just go blah, 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 blah. Well,
Right.
now with ChatGPT, I can pick up my phone and there's an app where you can actually voice to text it. And so I can just do like this verbal diarrhea like I used to do with Brad into ChatGPT, either on the Mac app or the phone app. And it just translates it all. And I go, what do you think? And and you get the pause and the little black thing there. And then it just goes, it comes up with, and it will analyze everything that I've said. So I found it great for that, where I can, and then I can start going backwards and forwards with it. So I can have that Brad conversations that I used to have. Not as
Yes.
much fun as doing it with a person, but I can get that crap out of my head. And it means once it's out of my head, if I do anything with it, I do. If I don't, I don't. But most of the time when I went in there to have, I'd just be like a brain dump, and he would give me a response back on it, and then would say, okay, well, that's a really cool idea. Let's try that one. I don't like that one. And other things I have learned is that you can help it write scripts for different things that you're doing. And but when you're asking it to write scripts, please put in their narration only. If you don't, it comes up with a whole movie production. Like the set, it will describe any backlighting, any music. It gives you it sets the entire scene for you, which is great if you're doing like a movie or something like that. But if you just want a script to just read as in the background or something like that, put narration only.
That's a great tip, Helen. I love that
Yes.
one.
Ask me
Narration
how
only. Very nice.
But it's good for so many different things, and not having that person that I can just bounce things off at a moment's notice that's been a great relief for me. So
Yes.
it's going to be interesting when I live with my parents for a bit while I find my house about that happening.
Oh dear. You may have to go back to typing rather than speaking. Yeah, because I wake up in the middle of the night as well. My middle of the night conversations with either Chat GPT or Grok actually are more on a philosophical level. And so I have these really great conversations that I don't necessarily want to have with all my friends Uh, and so it is really nice to go with an AI about that. So we can dig as deep as we want. And sometimes we come up with some really great ideas. I solve all the problems of the world and then I go back to sleep. So,
Oh, and interesting with the novel thing, the American Writers Association, I think, has now come out with a seal that you can put on books that says 100% human written.
oh, good. That's nice. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to use AI for the editing side, for the proofreading side,
Mhm.
and checking stuff. But if you can't, but to get that sealed, you can't have it write any of it. So I thought,
Yes.
that's interesting. So
I think that's a good idea because we don't
yeah.
want to limit human creativity. And if you use AI properly, you won't. Uh,
Mhm.
so, for things like everyday emails, you probably don't need the human seal, as long as it's more in your voice. But when you're writing a book, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, you want that to be in your voice. The world needs to hear your voice, right? Just like Nancy, who's not on here, she left earlier. We want to see what she does with glass. So she might go to ChatGPT and say, how do I give me some ideas of what I can do with glass, but she has to be the one that really does it.
Mhm.
So it's hers. And we get a bit of Nancy. That's what we want. So, oh, there
Oh,
she's
and if you
here.
have documents you can't read, scan them, upload them into ChatGPT and say transcribe.
Oh, that's right. That's another look.
And they will also translate if it's in a different language.
Yes.
Yes, Susan had to leave a little early, not me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I apologize for that. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and click stop share here, I think. Yes. So we can come back and I can see everybody's face. Oh, there we good. Well, great. Thank you very much, all very much for coming. I really appreciate you. If you find this useful, please let others know. I really want to get the word out. I want ChatGPT or other AIs to be accessible for anyone, really all over the world. And I think we're in a great position in this time to do such things. And so that's my main goal, make AI accessible for everyone, let people know how useful they can be. And if you have specific items, I would be glad to go into specific tools or dive deeper into any of the ones that we have. I've put all of these things that we've talked about and more into a beginner course. It's not yet available, but it will be soon, that people can use just to help them get started. So, and then as always, I'm happy to talk about it every Friday at this time for open office hour.
Hey, Terza.
Yes, Sue.
I know
Sorry.
you did, YT asked me if you were going to record this, and apparently you did.
Yes.
You're recording it? Okay. Secondly, would you just repeat how you increased the font? For some reason or other, I was distracted with my cat, so
Okay, so what Marcy, I don't know if I can't do a screen share on that, but it's over
just tell me.
on the Chrome browser. On the Chrome browser, I clicked on view, and then on view, I clicked on zoom in. And I did that 3 times to get the font bigger on my screen.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you for that, Marcel, and Marcy for asking, and Marcel for guiding me through it, because I've wondered how people do that as well. And I'm going to go back and reshoot some of my videos. So you don't have that teeny, you as the viewer don't have that teeny screen.
Yeah,
font in the screen.
in my publication, I don't do anything under font 18 just because I know my audience and we all wear glasses. So yeah, if you've got a mature audience, go for at least font 18.
I love that. Thank you.
Seriously.
All right, so you had a question?
Great
I'm
job
trying.
today.
Can you hear me? Two things. I want to talk to Nancy. I also do fused glass, so I'm very interested in talking to you about that. And Terza, you mentioned earlier about the emails, and how they were generated. I got one of those earlier this week, and as I was reading through it or understanding what you just punched in on, how it brought up, a formal letter compared to a non-formal letter and how you rechange things, I now realize that it was a total scam from what they were saying. Okay, I've already taken action to get back with that. But that was very interesting to me how you just change a little bit here, you tweak a little bit here. Thank you so much for taking my call. And this is how we're going to proceed and other things. So that really just set my mind reeling as to how people actually get scammed. And a lot of it is probably through AI. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, unfortunately, that is true. By the way, I did ask ChatGPT the other day. I've been getting text messages. I get them all the time, right? But the last set that I was getting seemed somewhat threatening, actually. So I said to ChatGPT, can I just do something besides block them? Is there some place to report them? And it told me I can forward any messages I get like that to 7726, which if you spell it out in the old way for the phones, with the letters on the keypads, it actually does spell out spam. Anyway, I tried that and it went to my mobile phone provider, which is T-Mobile, which immediately texted back thanking me for sending the spam and then that they would take it from here. So just an interesting tip. I didn't know. I don't know. It says you can click here and learn more. I didn't click on it, but to learn more about how they will handle it. I didn't actually go ahead and do that. But I guess I felt some relief that I was sharing it with somebody else.
Oh,
Right.
It has a little button on the bottom that says block and remove.
Yes, I do
Or,
that.
no, report spam, and then you click the report spam button, and then it comes block and remove, and you go click that again.
Yes. But I wanted another level, beyond calling up the local police who could care, why would they care? But T-Mobile would probably care. So, yeah.
I have one.
I gotta fly. Thanks, Terza. Bye.
Thank you, Helen. Bye.
I would have one comment about starting any kind of sentence with any kind of message rather with, oh, I hope you're well. I mean, years ago, we never started using that. I hope you're well. If at the end you might say, hey, I hope you stay well. If you were ill or a family member was ill or something. But please don't start that because that makes me want to throw up in the first place and not read the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be yourself. Don't try to copy something that just does not work well.
Excellent point, Marcy. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and look forward to seeing you next week or future sessions. And in the meantime, keep using this as a collaborative, helpful tool.
Thank you, Terza.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
great job.
you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Terza.
Thank you. Bye.